Greetings of the day and a warm welcome to one and all. Today, I, Somya Malik, founder of Root Social Media Marketing Bureau, welcome, truly delighted to welcome our esteemed guest, Dr. Samir Kapur. And today we are going to have a conversation on the topic how redefining business sectors in an AI and VUCA world. Going further, I would like to introduce Dr. Samir Kapur. Dr. Samir Kapur have over 25 years of experience in the field of public relation, corporate communication, public affairs, investor relations, and CSR. Worked extensively with various CXOs for strategizing and managing their reputation and communication campaigns. Worked with political parties, ministers, and policymakers for communicating important issues like Momentum, Jharkhand, Pulse, Polio, Niranchal, and the list is ongoing. Too. And Sir has written a book also on political campaign. So today, looking forward to a great and informative discussion. I am sure viewers will have fantastic learning and clarity on the topic. So we are starting with our first question. How can AI redefine business across verticals in today's VUCA world? Please illustrate with real world examples.
Hi, Somya. Thank you for the introduction and having me here. AI is redefining the business world in a big way. VUCA World, as you are aware, it's an acronym. It stands for volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous, which has now been changed to another acronym called BANI, B-A-N-I, which is it is brittle, it is anxious. You're not sure. It's non-linear, and of course, you are not sure what's going to happen with this world. What is happening is what AI has done. Data is too much around us, and that too much of data has given us anxiety. And because the marketers don't know what to do with this data, how to figure it out. And the real examples that you see are brands that we use on everyday basis, things that are being used by AI. Basic stuff like Gmail. When you're typing, Google will try to finish off the sentence for you and will say, put a tab. The moment you tab it, it's learning. The machine is learning on its own, which means they are trying to learn what kind of sentences, typing that you do. Similarly, Google tracks everything on if you are on Gmail, you have a flight to catch, let's say day after tomorrow, Google will set an alarm that your flight of so-and-so airline takes off 5 hours from now or 3 hours from now. So what's happening is that the machine is learning at one level. The other element is the voice, which is going to be the next battleground for all the major tech players. And you're seeing three players have already taken lead there. We have Siri, which of course resides on Apple platform. Then we have Alexa, which is on the Amazon platform. And of course, we have Google own voice command system, right, called Hello Google. Now, what is going to happen for marketers is that you don't need to type for search. You just have to speak. Or case in point, since you asked for some examples, there are brands like Netflix or Spotify. So if Somya wants to listen to a song early morning when she's running, her playlist will be different, which Spotify will know that what kind of songs you are listening to. Yes. Right? Which again is through AI. There are no people out there. It's using artificial intelligence to do that. Similarly, a Netflix, let's say, wants to use their great show like Squid Games to be shown to Somya and to Samir. These are two different target audience for Netflix. They will use two different posters to reach out to for the same show, to reach out basis the interest of the kind of genres that they are looking into. So AI is changing the world in a very, very different way altogether. So there is a multiple aspect of artificial intelligence. And as I said, the world is very volatile. You don't know where the next competition is going to come from. right? You don't know who's going to disrupt the segment of the market for you. So, case in point, in telecom in India, Vodafone, Idea, Airtel could have never imagined Reliance entering into this space, which was hardcore oil and gas. But they changed the game by launching Geo. And today, data, the fact that we are now speaking to each other, consuming data, because data is now relatively at a much cheaper rate versus it was, let's say, when you were in school, right? There was a time that we used to wait for the data to reduce and download all our stuff only at night, because data was 50% cheaper at night versus what it is today. Today, you don't have to wait for any movie to be downloaded, because you've taken large packs of data, and people on, whether it's on metro, whether they're flying, they just download the stuff and keep on watching. So consumer, what they are watching, what they are seeing, how they're behaving is also changing in a big way.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Understood, sir.
Over,
Thank you so much.
over to
And
you, yes.
very interesting. And AI is such a topic that you want to learn more and more about it. So my next question
Right.
is, why is the concept of ethical artificial intelligence gaining traction? What role can ethical AI play in enterprises? Why is the concept of ethical AI gaining traction? And what role can ethical AI play in enterprises? So, sir, I would like you
So
to
ethical AI is gaining a lot of currency and gaining a lot of traction, is because
traction.
the data, the power that these tech companies have is huge. They can track you even when your maps are not on. They can track you even when your searchability is not on. Now that is something that none of the consumer has signed in for. A case in point is, let's say you like a simple thing like a clock on your mobile. You download the app. The font size of that clock is so small that you generally tick 99% of the consumer. They don't read those 8 letter font size, and they just click. They accept everything that app asks for. In one of those things, they ask for all your data, which, let's say, this clock manufacturer app doesn't need, right? I just want, I like a fancy clock app, I just want to download it. But the clock app wants every data of mine, they want every moment of mine, which, by the way, is not something that I want to give. So the ethical part of artificial intelligence is, ask the consumer, and Europe has done something called GDPR, where the cookies are not allowed. They ask you that, this website is tracks the cookies, and do you want this cookies to be part of it? Which, by the way, is of course a major block, stumbling block for marketers, because I don't know as a marketer what is Somya doing now, because Somya has stopped the cookies, to track your movement, to track, when you sleep, what you eat, where do you go for running, what is your favorite restaurant. All those things are kind of not getting tracked. So, and because that's an area where I don't want that thing to be open. You would have heard certain grapevines that Google is listening, Siri is listening. They're all always on kind of a listening mode, right? Now that's one area which I think any of the consumer is not very comfortable. I don't want all my information to go out and that data then to be sold to any marketer or a hacker. And therefore, the ethical AI is, take the data that you need, of course. So I've taken a watch which is like which is tracking my blood pressure, my heart rate, so on and so forth. So that point, that data is good. But why does this watch needs to track where am I going, what am I eating, what am I sleeping, what time I'm doing? So all those things is where the word of ethics come into marketing. And your question on why ethical AI is such a big ask these days is because consumer doesn't want all the data to be shared in public, and that's why ethical AI is coming in. For enterprise marketing, since you asked where does ethical AI comes into that part in for the enterprises, you need to draw a line where to stop. You can't be snooping around in the bedroom of the consumers, or in the private areas of the consumer. So that is an area where you need to stop. So I think that's why ethical AI is now becoming a huge amount of is gaining currency and traction in the ecosystem.
Thanks. Wonderful, sir. And my third question is presently business have just scrapped the surface of AI. What is the future of
That's
AI in business? What trends do you see emerging in AI in the next couple of years?
You're absolutely right. We've not even scratched the surface as far as the AI is concerned. NLP, which is one area which many of the brands are currently talking about, has not even gone into any format, any which way. Machine learning, of course, is improving. Big data and analytics is coming in. There are a lot of marketing platforms and tools that are going to emerge. Uh, privacy is going to be a major thing that brands have to adapt at. Some of the large tech brands like Apple, if you see, is now focusing on privacy. The entire marketing campaign is about privacy. It says, I don't let your data out, something that the competition of course talks about. Meta, which is erstwhile Facebook, Insta, everyone is now changing their policy, saying that we value your privacy. We understand that you don't want things to be known to everybody. So let's say if you're on Insta, you may not make your profile open. You can stop it as and when you want. You can allow only few friends of yours to come in. Now, your question on what exactly can happen in future. What has happened is the AI has always worked outside the human body, right? All the tractions that are happening are outside. Imagine if you can figure out my blood pressure, or you can figure out my insulin levels without piercing into my body. When you do that somewhere will be a time that suddenly the market will explode, right? Imagine I can calculate your diabetes without any intervention, without taking even a small drop of your blood. Now, that of course will change this entire thing. Similarly, from a consumer behavior perspective, if my eye levels, pupil levels are being studied by AI, that okay, I like this product, so the top you are wearing or the shirt that I'm wearing, I like this shirt. And if the marketers get to know just from my pupils eye movement that yes, this person has now liked this thing, the color, the size, the fit has worked well. Imagine the kind of
That will be wonderful
the
also,
market it
and
will open up for. Yeah, scary as well. That's right.
yeah, that will be interesting also, and it will have the pros and cons, of course. So
Correct.
coming to
And we
my
have then, of course, yeah, sorry.
no, no,
We will
sorry
have
to
something called a programmatic advertising, programmatic marketing, which has already started coming in, which means I don't need people to do media planning and buying for me. There are algos, programs that are being run. They will understand what we are doing. We are already seeing some part of it. Somya, I'm sure you know, when you go to Amazon, you click on something, you move out, let's say you've not bought it for some reason, immediately in few seconds you will start seeing it on Google everywhere, right? So that is where that link is getting established. This is going to go more and more. It's going to go up more and more, uh,
will be
and that's the
wonderful
level
too.
at which data privacy. Yeah,
No,
it will
it
be
will be
wonderful too,
wonderful
absolutely,
too
because you will be
to
able
know
to.
our likings and dislikings, but maybe with some people they will not like it. So,
Correct,
so
correct.
my
So
fourth question,
what it will. Yeah, sorry.
what are the top challenges confronting enterprises looking to leverage AI for business growth? How can business leaders overcome these challenges?
See, there are certain challenges right now which are coming in from a various perspective of AI. Training time, data quality is one area which most of the enterprises are still grappling with. Privacy is the second largest issue that organizations are figuring. While cloud and others, GDPR I mentioned, there are heavy penalties that the governments are now imposing on companies that are defaulting. Getting buy-in from your internal stakeholder, from the enterprise itself, is going to be a big ask. Deployment of best practices is an area of concern, and this marketing landscape that is going to change because of it are some of the challenges that I feel purely from a from a perspective of brands or enterprise is something that they have to manage.
Correct. So my fifth question is, what role can AI have in the media industry? What are your plans? What are your plans with respect in AI in your company and Ad Factor
Oh,
PRs?
so AI has a huge role to play in media industry. It helps us in establishing clear-cut goals. The KPIs get implemented. It improves the customer experience. Media can figure out using AI that what is it that the customer is looking for. I can tweak my content accordingly. Content strategy that can be linked to AI is a very powerful tool. Uh, I can improve my data privacy standards because of the AI, implementation that is there. The data quantity can improve multifold. The sources of data can be anything. My CRM, my ORM, all aspects can merge together and give me a huge data point. I can, of course, acquire a lot of data science talent. We are at AdFactors as a public relation entity and a media house. We are having 6 data scientists who are MTech from IIT, who help us in analyzing the online reputation management, understanding what are the data points that are emerging, how a particular stakeholder is behaving on the social media, and that helps us in maintaining data quality. Now, what it does is it will have, of course, it's timely. The data is 99% complete. Therefore, my decision is more informed. I will have a consistency. It is relevant because I'm tracking data right now. I'm not tracking something which is 10 years old. It is transparent because everyone can see the same. So Somya can see the same data as Samir. It is accurate and it is represented. So these are the things that I can do when I look at the media as a platform, and it is no longer one single element that works. It's a 360-degree of things that, so I can create a persona of a person using this data, and media companies can figure out how their audience is now changing. Case in point is, let's say, is my audience becoming younger, the audience looking at more of entertainment and less of hard news, or is my audience becoming older, silver, right? Is it more of hard news and less of entertainment? Depending on which time, what slot, who's watching where, I can tweak my strategy accordingly.
Wonderful. So I'm thankful. Thank you for the lovely answers. I'm glad to have such informative answers to all the questions asked. So now I would now request Dr. Samir to share a message note for our valuable viewers in terms of taking care of the security laws and rules and regulation of media. What people should consider while posting here and there, using the language, the communication part also is there. So I just request you to share a note which will be really valuable for the viewers, that will help them not to just use media in any way. There are ways to use media, and people should stick to it and follow those rules.
Yeah, thanks, Somya. I think the biggest learning for creator economies, influencers, people like you and me to figure it out is not to plagiarize anything. It will be good that we give credit to the source from where we have taken the data, or we have taken the meme. That data is something which is the property of the media platform that has initially given it. And therefore, many a times you've seen a lot of companies, platforms getting into trouble because they take, let's say, a Netflix uh, screenshot, and without giving any credit to Netflix, they just post a meme there. And many a times you enter into a huge amount of IP breach, intellectual property breach, that happens the most. So any platform which is using that, of course, meme marketing is flourishing, it is growing,
It
but
is.
give the exact credit and make sure that the IP laws are and cyber laws are becoming very powerful. Don't use social media platforms to undermine the modesty of the other person. Use language which is unparliamentary. You are seeing Twitter as one of the platform where a lot of such issues get erupted. Insta also is now becoming something like that. So when you are creating that content, it's good to create reels, it's good to create trending concept, but just make sure that you have the originality in it, which is your own style, right? So Somya has a different style from Samir, and both of them have to understand what styles work for each individual. Everyone can't be same. While I might want to do a similar reel on Kacha Badam, but that reel will have your own style versus my own style. So that is one area that you need to figure out. Even when you imitate, another person, just make sure that it is well within the limits and we don't cross the limits. Many times, what we are seeing is we are crossing the limits, we are hurting the sentiments, because of which you see a huge amount of backlash coming as far as social media is concerned. So for the media professionals, for people who want to create or be part of the creator economy, of course, entertainment, old saying which leads the thing, but just make sure that you don't cross that line.
And follow all the rules and regulations which are mentioned
And
in the
follow all
media.
the rules and regulations. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So, coming to the end of the conversation, I would like to thank you, Dr. Samir, for your valuable time and such insightful session and such knowledgeable answers to all the questions asked. I and thank you all the viewers who are watching the video. And I hope that everybody gets to use media in a positive way and learn a lot of things out of it and make a lot of like you can make your career out of it. Just not misuse it. Thank you so much, sir.
Right. Thank you, Somya.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.